Hi everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys with another version of the if you like this, then you like this tag. And this is basically about me mentioning a book I really liked and then comparing it to another book that you might like if you liked the first one. It's not really complicated and you will definitely understand what the hell I'm talking about when we start. So, let's get started. So the first book I'm going to talk about today is Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson, and this one is about Emily and her best friend Sloane actually disappears during the summer, and Emily has no idea where the hell she went. But after a couple of days she gets a letter from Sloane with a list of a couple of things that she wants Emily to do during the summer, and Emily decides to actually try to accomplish this list because she thinks it will help her find out where the hell Sloane went. So on this list there's things like dance until dawn, kiss a stranger, go skinny dipping, and so on. So this was a really quick and funny read, even though it's quite big. We have amazing characters, really great character development. We had a lot of music related topics in this one as well, and definitely one of my favorite contemporary books. And if you like this book, I think that you will like Love, Life and the List by Casey West. And this one we meet Abby Turner, and she really likes to paint, draw and stuff like that, and everybody's always told her that she's really good at it, and so she decides to ask her boss at work. She actually works at this art museum, and they're supposed to have this exhibit by different artists in the neighborhood, and she asks her boss if she can be a part of it, and she shows him some of her paintings, and he tells her that she cannot be a part of the show because her paintings does not have enough heart to be in it. So Abby decides to make this list of 10 things she's supposed to do, and these things are supposed to help her, get more heart into her art. That kind of rhyme, but whatever, moving on. But things on her list is like fall in love, face a fear, learn a stranger's story, and so on. And both of these books have lists in them, a lot of character development for sure, a lot of amazing characters, and really good like family dynamics and stuff like that. They do both contain lists, but the lists are very different, and they are following this list for completely different reasons. So these books are really different, but at the same time really good. So check them out if you haven't already. And I will come to the next sort of match, and that is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, which probably everybody on this earth has heard about by now because it's ridiculously good, and people fought about it to make it into a movie, so right. But this one we follow Star, and she actually witnessed when her childhood best friend is killed by a cop. So it's police brutality, and you get to follow through the courts and everything that leads up to the conviction or the release of this cop. And then we have Dear Martin by Nick Stone, which is also about police brutality. We follow a guy named Justice, and he writes these letters to Martin Luther King Jr. And tells him about his life and everything like that. And you also get to be a part of Justice's life. He is a very good student. He is meant for an Ivy League school. Problem is that he gets to a lot of problems and prejudices because he happens to be black, and the majority of his kids at his school are white. I think there was like 8 black kids in total. But yeah, one day when Justice is out driving in his car with his friend Manny, they get across sort of a off-duty cop, and this cop wants them to turn their music down, but instead of doing so, Manny actually turns the volume up, and that ends with him being getting shot by this cop. So both of these books are about police brutality. They're very different, but they do contain the same subject. They're written very differently, but I do feel like if you like The Hate You Give, then you like Dear Martin. So it's definitely worth checking them both out. And then the next match we have is My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton and Jodie Meadows, also known as the Lady Janeys. So this is about Lady Jane Grey. She actually was a real person, but she was supposed to become queen. She was not queen for very many days before she got her head chopped off. But this is their own version of what would have happened if she hadn't been killed so early on. So this is a historical fiction with like magic in it and a lot of hilariousness, because this book is freaking hilarious and magical and really, really awesome. But I feel like if you like this book, then you might like The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue. So this is written by Mackenzie Lee, and this is also historical fiction. But this one we meet Monty, and he is actually bisexual, but that's not really accepted at this point. So this book takes place during the 1700s, and bisexually is not really, you know, a very common thing at this point, because not a lot of people are out of the closet yet, so it's not really, like, you know, accepted yet. And then we also have his best friend Percy, and he happens to be black. But these two guys are, you know, the best of friends. I love their friendship, and also Monty happens to have a huge crush on Percy. So it's kind of that problematic aspects of both of these two guys' lives. But we also meet Felicity, who happens to be Monty's younger sister, and she's kind of a sassy, like, really funny character, and I do love her so much. But this is a historical fiction. There's like no magic in it, but it's really like kick-ass and exciting and, you know, historical. While this one is historical fiction but with magic, but it's still really hilarious. So it's both of them are hilarious. They're very different, but I feel like if you enjoy this kind of humor, then you'll enjoy this kind of humor. So I think it's, you know, a match made in heaven, really. And then the second to last match is Ready Player One by Ernest Cline, who is about a, you know, really rich dude having created this game, and in this game he has, you know, hidden some kind of treasure, you know, his legacy, and that person gets to get all of his money, the ownership of the game and everything like that. So when this creator dies, everybody is supposed to, you know, try to find it, and it goes for a really long time and nobody finds a single clue. But, you know, then our main character steps in and shit goes down from there. So this is very focused on video games, the 80s, lots of nerdiness and different fandoms, and it's awesome. And then we also have Warcross by Mary Lou, and this one also contains, you know, video games, really cool technology and everything like that. So we meet Emika in this one, and she is a bounty hunter. So she tries to catch people who are illegally betting on this game called Warcross, but she accidentally glitches herself in this really official game, earn quick money, and you know, she thinks she's going to get in jail because that shit she did was kind of, you know, illegal, and everybody knows who she is now and everything like that. But she does get a phone call, but she gets a phone call by the creator of this game, and he actually wants to hire her for a job. So we get to follow Emika on this sort of journey. It's really cool, it's really kick-ass, and, you know, a lot of nerdiness, which is what we love. So I feel like if you're like Ready Player One, then you'll definitely like Warcross.